Those of you who watch me on a regular basis, and of course that should include all of you, those of you who watch me know that I like to reflect upon the times where the place we're living in, where we sit in history, etc. Just the little observations here and there. And I think I've come across something that is interesting. Sitting with a friend of mine, and I'm just talking about the topic of friends, meaning who do you like to hang out with? Of course, we can get into a debate of how do you define a friend, etc. And I find that it's something that's interesting that's going on with all the social networking that's happening, all the texting and the Twittering and the Facebooking and all the stuff that's going on. We're so much in contact with everybody, and we're so busy letting everybody know every single detail, what we're doing. Guess what? I just cut my toenails tonight, and etc. All that kind of stuff. Somehow the idea of a friend has not only been trivialized, but the concept of friendship is completely different than the way it was, because we don't really have friends in the same way that we have before. Friends, what does that mean now today? You never really get to talk to anybody. You never really get to sit down with anybody because we're all busy with our machines. So friendship is kind of almost a lost art. And I asked this guy, I said, so who are your friends? And he said something so interesting to me. He said, you know what? My friends are basically my kids. He means his adult children are actually his best friends. And when I thought about it, I realized that may very well be true for me as well. And for many of us, I think in the sign of the times, because we just don't talk much to people the way we do, the way we used to, and the way the family structure has been coming back, I think that for many of us, our really good friends in this world are our children, and maybe mostly our adult children. And when I mentioned this to somebody else, that person was kind of horrified and said, your friends aren't supposed to be your children. They're your children. They're not your friends. I don't, frankly, see anything wrong with it. Yes, it's different than the way it was. I think that at one time the thought of having our children as our real friends would have been horrifying, but not today. I don't think anymore. I think it's acceptable. You have to know some of the limits. It's not your confidant, that's true, but in terms of who you want to hang out with, who you want to speak with, and whose company you enjoy, for many of us, myself included, I think my kids are right up there. Some people don't think it's such a great idea, and I'm curious what you think. Is it okay? Is it acceptable? Is it reasonable that your real friends in this world, more than anyone else, are your own children? Let me know what you think. Right, something to think about.